Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Oscar Cisneros, the Grease Monkey Garage down here in San Diego, California. And today I want to just take a moment to have what we call shop talk. I want to be able to just share my journey since we moved into the shop here in El Cajon beginning March 1st and where we're currently at, and just kind of share a progress update for perhaps those that are interested in knowing, like, hey, how's your business going? Or, hey, how do you like it? Hey, what's different about what's going on around you? Hey, how's your client base? Hey, what's your vendor setup? What's your part situation? Are you surviving? And and I want to hopefully kind of break through a lot of these stereotypical questions, right? Or stereotypical analysis that a lot of people have, that most businesses fail within the first year. Things that I would have liked to have done differently. Would I do something differently? And I'm just gonna briefly touch on these topics quickly and let you guys know where we're at. So we moved in here March 1st. So March 1st we moved in and we got the keys, and it wasn't, boots to the ground running, but it kind of was. There was a lot of stuff that needed to get done. We needed to install the racks. We needed to actually build our restroom up because our restroom, there was nothing in there. There was just a hole for the sewer. Two lines came out of the wall for the water, one for the toilet, two for the sink. And so we needed to set that up and make it look presentable. Walls look ugly. We had to paint the walls, lay down some tile. But we did all that. We did all that. We got the lifts installed. We got the electrical ran through the building to power the lifts up. And there's still a couple things, like I have my compressor set up, but I still haven't ran the lines yet. I just haven't had the time to. So I'm just at the moment using a hose. But it's not a big deal because it's just me in the shop at the moment. I'm not tripping over other mechanics at this stage in time. So far, today's April 28th, and it's been about almost 2 months. And I gotta say that so far it has been everything I expected it to be. I actually had lost my interest in mobile mechanic, and my desire to work on cars had come down dramatically. I was no longer excited working on cars anymore when I was out in the field. It's just the sun, the elements, sometimes the parking, the part situation. And there was this lack of credibility that I was able to establish as a mobile mechanic as perhaps not being a real mechanic. Even though I was able to do my job right, in order for you to be able to do that, you need to have all the right tools. And the mobile mechanic aspect was something that allowed me to be able to create the stepping stone needed so that I can get myself to where I'm at today. I'm in no way knocking it whatsoever, but I did it for 4 years, and I really got in, saturated with the environment, with the feel, with the game. And after about 3.5 years, I was over it. Like, I lost my desire to do it. And partly one of the big reasons for that was that, just getting under cars, getting on your knees to take tires off, do brake jobs, it kicks your butt after a while. And it's just something that I said, you know what, I'm not hungry enough. I'm not chasing it like I used to. I got comfortable. And that was the problem with the mobile mechanic. When I left the dealership, I was chasing something, and I was hungry, and I was willing to take an extreme risk by doing so. And it did me well. And, I got very complacent in my place. So I needed to propel it and take it to another level. So when we got to the shop, it was chasing something else, and it was a risk because now I have to deal with two rents. I got to deal with two electric bills, two water bills, two insurance bills, two everything. And, the idea is, hey, can we do this and be profitable? A lot of people say that most businesses within the first to, I think it's like 1 to 3 years, they experience a red. They're operating in the red. And I thought that was the weakest thing I've ever heard. I thought that was just so foolish. And I just don't see why you would be operating in the red. Now, I'm just going to be able to, I'm just speaking from my experience. When I moved into this place, I had an established clientele. I already had people in the mobile mechanic world that would follow me and that would come here and, give me their business. So I had that already. Had I moved in here with absolutely no exposure, in obscurity. Nobody knows who I am. Now, that might be a different story, but there's a different way to tackle that monster, right? You have advertising, you have search engine optimization, you have social media campaigns. I mean, there's ways to get your name out there. As a matter of fact, when I quit my job at Ford and started doing the mobile mechanic business and I got into the Yelp world, I remember my first 2 weeks after being out, the work just went boom. And I was kind of like, dang, I need a sign, God. And I got a phone call from a Yelp representative, and the Yelp guy said, "Hey, you want to do a campaign? First month's free, and then it's $450 a month after that." And I had no money in the bank, and I said, "You know what? Let's do it." I'm making decisions like a CEO. I'm making decisions like the United States is, right? I mean, what are we like negative what $30 trillion in debt? And they're still spending money. So I said, you know what? I'm in debt. I'm not doing pretty good right now. I could use the exposure. I went ahead and did that. But being here now, and it worked out for me at that time, just as an FYI. But now being here, we've moved in and we've had an opportunity to flourish. I mean, there's the aspect of somebody comes in for brakes, but then you offer that complimentary inspection and you inspect the vehicle from front to back and you just point out issues. Hey, just want to let you know, look, I have an opportunity to look under your car. I noticed XYZ. You don't have to do that today. Just want to let you know. And a lot of people make that decision for themselves, right? Sales is one of those things where it's interesting, right? Because I mean, when you work at a dealership or when you work as a car salesman, I mean, you're fighting for that commission, right? You're trying to get that cut. And I don't know, me personally, I think everybody has a different style. Me personally, I've never been the type of person that likes to be pressured. I've never been the person that likes to be told what they do. Uh, I hate being influenced in my decision. I like to have the information and I like to look at it, think about it, and then pull the trigger. That's how I am. So when people come in, I simply present the information that they need. And I say, look, here's your multi-point. This is what we found. This is what is, the most important right now to me. Here's the secondary and so on. But I never say you have to do this, 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 and this. But people respect that. And people love not being pushed in a corner and saying, oh, this sleazeball is trying to get me to approve this work. No, no, no. I gave you the information. I gave you my recommendations. Ultimately, you make the decision. And the transaction is amicable. The transaction is, at least in my eyes, it's reciprocal. It's smooth. There's dialogue going both ways. There's objections that are overcome. There's questions that are answered. Concerns that might come up. We tackle them head on. But we never push something on somebody unsuspectedly or what I call ambush and expect them to say yes because we're looking out for our own interest. So to sum that up, I would say that the primary success of a business between year 1 and year 3, and again, I'm in month 2 of an actual brick and mortar location, but so far I have found that formula to be to place the needs of your client ahead of yours, put your secondary, and everything else will follow, right? So if I help enough people get to the top, I'll also get to the top with them. If I step on people on my way to the top, when I come down, nobody's going to be there to catch me. So by being able to place the needs of other people ahead of mine, I have been able to be successful for these 2 months. It's incredible. Like, I mean, I got a lot of work, and it's a small shop and it's 2 bays. And, the thought comes up now, right? Speaking of risk, like we were talking about earlier, am I at a place now where perhaps maybe I can transition into the office and hire a technician to come in and do the work? Who knows? I mean, that's come up. That's come up. And another bit of exciting news has come up is this. We just had our application reviewed and our application is pending approval, pending the arrival of said equipment, but we will be performing smog check inspections as well. We're going to be adding that to our list pretty soon in about 3 weeks to about a month. We're getting our bar iOS machine, so we're going to be doing smog checks for vehicles 2000 and newer, and we're going to be able to complement that with our licensed repair through the state, and that's something that I am just in awe of. Licensing is, I think with mechanics, especially when I was mobile, I think we view the bar as this entity, as a government group that is trying to make our lives difficult. But I have found that the bar has set a standard so that when you get yourself involved in a legal situation, you have a guideline that if you follow will protect you as the shop owner, and it will also protect the consumer at the same time. So even when I was a mobile mechanic, a lot of people don't know this, but you need to be licensed to be a mobile mechanic. If you're not licensed, technically you cannot perform any automotive repair for profit. The license is like $200 to apply for it, right? You meet the requirements, you get it, and you're good to go. You slap the ARD number on the side of your truck, and if something comes up, you get a dispute with the client, somebody's not happy, and they want to threaten you or this and that, and you have all your paperwork in order and you did nothing wrong, you got approvals, you communicated with your client, that'll protect you. And that will prevent a year 1 to year 3 business from going into the red. It'll prevent a business like that from getting into legal entanglements and causing you to suffer setbacks. And it's those types of setbacks, guys, that when you experience in life, whether it's in business or in your personal life, they derail the momentum that you have built. Like I got everything going for me right now, right? Like I said, I'm at month 2 of the actual location. This is actually year 4 in the entrepreneurship journey of my life. And, I got a lot of momentum going right now. And the last thing that I need in my life is to have something come up at me because I failed to cross my I's or dot my I's and cross my T's. So, I mean, guys, take advantage of legal structure, the way you build your business up so that if something were to arise, you are protected. And again, that's something that they don't tell you in school, right? They don't tell you, and I'm talking not like business school. I'm just talking like just grade level school, like, how to start business, how to move and navigate that territory. And it's just been one of those things that has just been monumental in my success, just having that license exposure. And and you display it proudly. Like we got it up on the wall. Like somebody comes in, you're good to go, right? The city comes in, oh well, there's my license. The Bureau of Automotive Repair comes in, well, there's my license. And what can they say? Well, Mr. Cisneros, looks like you got everything in order here. We're done. And it's like, thank you. Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love to be up at top? Who doesn't love to be in a position of just being able to say, hey, you know what? I did everything correct. So I encourage you that if you are in that type of position, take it. Another part of the journey that I've liked or that has been pretty interesting as well is that I have lost a lot of clients. I have lost a lot of mobile clients that I've had previously. And you know what? I don't blame them. I mean, we're out in El Cajon. I've had clients in Chula Vista and Otay, San Isidro, Miramar, Mira Mesa, Claremont. And you know what? It is a drive. It is a drive. And that was tough. Something that I've learned being here at the shop, losing customers, not because of work issues, but because of distance issues. And for those that have stuck with me, I appreciate it. For those that just don't want to make the drive, regardless, I appreciate you because you were part of that stepping stone that has propelled me to success, whether it was through referrals, just repeat work. It's been something that has been such a blessing to me, such a blessing to me. And, that is something that I truly, truly appreciate. Another thing that I learned, and I learned this through Patrick Bet David from Valuetainment. He said this and it stuck with me, and I hope that this sticks with you. Another thing that I believe has allowed us to be successful here in our journey is that I try, and I'm not perfect, but I try to not be a one-night stand professional. I love how Patrick Bet David said that. He says, don't be a one-night stand professional. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he goes on to explain, you have these guys that make these big sales. You have these guys that, they do the automotive work. And then they ship the car out, but they don't do any follow-up. They don't say, hey, how was your experience? Hey, let me send you a link for review. How's everything? How's the car running? Is everything smooth? Any leaks? Right? And like I said, I'm not perfect. But when he said that to me, I was like, damn. But it created the conversation with myself. So I said, hey, wait a minute. How can I not be the one night stand professional? How can I be the professional that actually is engaged, that actually is involved, that follows up and sees how is your repair, how is everything turning out? And again, that has been something that has worked very well for me. But all in all, I mean, the journey here at the shop has been very exciting. The journey here has been surreal, and I just can't be any more grateful than what I am at the moment. Now, the cons of having an auto shop, it's a lot of stress, guys. I saw a post the other day. I don't know where I saw it, but see, I work 6 days a week, right? I mean, I work about 10, 12 hour days. That's probably about almost 4 hours more than most people, and one day more than most people. So the reason that I'm here at this place is because I have more time invested in my project. It is accelerated. The rate is accelerated. As a matter of fact, through a year, right? If you have the typical person that works 40 hours a work week, 40 hours times, what is it, 52 weeks in a year? I think it's 52 weeks in a year. Yeah, 52 weeks in a year, guys. Sorry, guys. So 40 times 52. So you're looking at about 2,080 hours in a calendar year of time that you invest in a project. Now, if you have a guy that's working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, so that's 12 hours, that's 72 hours in a week, and you multiply that by 4, or I'm sorry, let's go ahead and restart this here. You got 12 hours times 6 days a week. So if it's 72 hours in 1 week, and if we multiply that by 52, that's 3,744 hours. So that's almost, guys, almost about 1,600 hours more than the person just working regular hours. So take that into consideration. What are we sacrificing with that time if we're not giving it to the business? If we're giving it to the business, we're not giving it somewhere else, right? You have to be able to allocate properly. Well, sometimes I sacrifice a little bit of time with myself, with my word. I sacrifice time with my family, with friends, and it's this relentless pursuit, this relentless obsession that I've developed, and it's maybe healthy at times, maybe it's unhealthy at times, but there's this destination that I have in mind, and I want to get there. I want to get there as quickly as possible, and sometimes that means that you have to make some people uncomfortable. Sometimes that means you might not be able to get to hang out with as many people as you'd like. Sometimes that means giving something up, whatever that might be. What is that? And is it important for you? So there's a balance, guys. I mean, there's that has probably been the worst, or the most hardest part, right? Just the amount of time that I give here. Another thing that I heard is that, well, you could just leave your work at the shop, right? No shop talk. And that's kind of hard, man, because my mind is always running. I have a very, very hard time enjoying moments of leisure because either the phone is going off, or there's something I forgot to do, or something that I have to do. Sometimes I dream about fixing cars. And it's sad because I cannot escape it. I cannot leave it at the door. I mean, the mind of the mechanic is so intricate, it's so complex. There's so much knowledge that one has to retain, information that one has to have to fix these cars, the ability to look for this information, the right tools for the right job, the paperwork aspect, the invoicing, the marketing, the follow ups, the phones, the emails, the social media. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's one of those jobs that could literally be a 24-hour job. And if you get caught lacking for 1 minute, your competitor will come up and snatch up your business. Just 1 minute. And that's probably one of the hardest things, is that I can't turn it off sometimes. That's why a well-deserved once a week beer is nice, because I get to just mellow out. Not every day, guys, just like a once a week thing, because I can actually enjoy it. I can say, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to relax. I'm not trying to escape anything. I'm just relaxing. I'm not running away from anything. It's just a reward. That's all it is. It's not a vice. It's a reward. Hanging out with the family, going out to dinner, pizza night, pizza and margaritas. We love that. We love it. We love pizza and margaritas around here. Tribute Pizza out in North Park. They got the best Neapolitan pizza or the margarita pizza. Bomb. Order one to eat and one to go. Trust me. But all in all, I mean, this life, this journey, this walk, it it's not something I regret. It's not something that I wouldn't do again. There's things that I would do differently. Perhaps buying an established business that probably would be nice, but a lot of times people don't have a lot of money for that. And it's one of those things that is it's just amazing. It's an amazing journey, and I hope that you guys at one point in your life get to experience this type of victory, this type of joy that I have in my life. Because I mean, if you guys knew me, I mean, I wasn't a kid that was the best spoken. I wasn't the tallest kid in the group. I wasn't the most athletic kid in the group. I wasn't the richest kid in the group. Like I had none of that. I had none of that. It was just a kid with a dream. I mean, it's so cliche. It's so late. It's so plainly laid out on the table. I mean, I was a kid that even had a record. Not something crazy, but I had a record that for most would deter. But I didn't even allow that to deter me. So I guess to say that what you really chase after, what you really want, it's possible to do it. It's possible to do it. In another video, I'll probably explain the cost of moving into an auto repair shop. I think that's a very interesting video for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are very excited about something like that because they want to know, right? What does it cost to get into a place? And that's a challenge as well. But I'll go into more depth about it. But to wrap this up, and the most important thing really that has allowed me to get here is my Lord and Savior Jesus. At the end of the day, like, I have something bigger than myself. I have something greater than me that drives me to be here. I don't know what my purpose in life is. I mean, I know that for what it is today is to fix a car, to interact with people, but it's to be like, I think of heaven and what heaven would be like, and I think that heaven would be a place where I think we all have jobs. We're all gonna have jobs, and I don't know. Maybe God's gonna make things broken on purpose so that people can fix things, right? But what's interesting is you know that there's no shadiness. I don't have a shady bone in my body. Like when there's people that come in, like I do people right because I got a boss and he's looking at me and he holds me accountable, and that has been the success in my life, right? His commandments have been love me with all your heart, mind, body, soul, and strength. And the second most important is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Follow those two. The whole law hangs on those two laws. If you can just fulfill just those two laws, not that you would be found righteous, but you would be in compliance with the law, right? Because it's written on your heart. Not a tablet of stone, but a tablet of flesh. I hope you guys stay blessed, guys. Thanks for checking the video out. Peace out.